What's behind each shooting? Do you actually know? These are real stories from ex-offenders for real changes.
My dad had a lot of transferred trauma from the way he was brought up and the way he was raised.
What's causing gun violence? It's poverty.
They're scared. They don't know if the next day when they wake up, if they're going to survive. Most kids don't have to think like that.
So coming from the South, you grew up with a work ethic. So my mother wanted to work and try to better things for us.
Because you got to think about kids who've been through this. You know, I had a class when I first started doing mentorship. I probably had about, 35 students, 40 students in there.
And maybe his dad had trauma from the way he was brought up and he was raised, and it just kind of kept going.
And the anxiousness of wanting better.
But when you live in these type of neighborhoods in the inner cities, you have to survive.
Mama went to work. We're in this neighborhood, so we out doing all ungodly things.
And not knowing how to get it, clawing and fighting.
Like, everybody raise your hand if you got $1 million in your family. Nobody raised their hand. I said, raise your hand if you got a business owner in your family. Nobody raised their hand. I said, raise your hand if you got a person that's an entertainer or playing the pros in your family. I had a person raise their hand.
If it wasn't for me to have the people that I have in my life, I would be doing the same thing to my children. I would be transferring trauma onto them.
Results in people pulling weapons on each other.
We wasn't living, we were surviving. We wasn't thinking about thriving. We wasn't thinking about our future. We was thinking about surviving the day.
And then we wanted to fit in. We didn't want to be called country bunkers. We didn't want to fight every day. But that's what we had to do until we was able to fit in.
I said, raise your hand if you got somebody that's incarcerated in your family. Everybody raised their hand. What more you need me to say?
We want to welcome you to this premiere.
So I just want everybody to come out.
I would like to personally invite everyone.
You guys don't want to miss the premiere of our documentary.
I would like to invite you out to this premiere of this documentary.
It's time to step up and start negotiating some of these terms that's going to help defeat some of these root causes that's taking our people out. Thank you.
Have you ever been bust at from point blank? Have you ever bust back with my ops thing? Ever been between a rock and a hard place? Ever sold rocks hot in a dark place? Have you ever had your back up against the wall? Ops on the block, steady busting, trying to see you fall. Have you ever hit your knees and cried out for help? Ever put somebody else before yourself? Have you ever read the cards that you was dealt? It's heartbreaking, worst feeling that you ever felt. Have you ever